we've come down here, that sometimes you just want to stop playing and just take it all in, and that's one thing that the fans in Chile, you didn't see a lot of this, you know,
Right, right, right.
you just saw them in the moment enjoying it, and that was one thing that I was just applauding.
Yeah, that's like Charlie just said. You didn't see a lot of people holding up their phones, which you're totally right about that. And like it's. I remember Sting said when the Police reunited and they were having a little bit of issues at first with Stewart and Sting, and then they got over it and they said, we realize now these songs don't belong to us anymore. They belong to the fans.
Yeah.
You can really see that coming through, like the spirit of these songs, the spirit of the brothers of Dime and Vinny. I didn't know Dime at all. Obviously, you were very close to him, but Vinny was one of my best friends.
I know.
I went through it with Vinny a couple times where, there's always little issues and animosity, but I think now, and I'm sure Dime, and you can kind of tell me what you think, I think they'd be like, you know what, this is pretty fucking cool. That our life's work will now live on and make people happy, which is what Vinny was all about. I'm sure Dime was the same, but Vinny's always cooking at his bus and come on over, 1-2 barbecue, come over to my house, let's have a shot, let's have some fun. This is fun. This is what Vinny and I'm assuming Dime as well were all about.
Well, exactly. And like, to use the word celebration, I think that's the most accurate word you could use for this thing, because it is a celebration of the music and the vibe that these guys created. I mean, like you said, Vinny and Dime would be all for it. And I know there were issues with those guys in the past, but man, it's 2022 now.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hold on to grudges all your life. You got to let shit go. And you have to just say, I'm going to enjoy this. I want to hear Cowboys from Hell again. I want to hear I'm Broken. That's it. Just come out and celebrate it. And I did say something for people to say the things that they were saying, because I felt that Vinny and Dime, if it was the opposite way, they would be probably doing this too, because they want their music to live on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, because there's two generations never have seen Pantera. And this isn't the Pantera that started this whole thing. Yes, it's Philip and Rex, and it's myself and Zach who are filling in for Daryl and Vinny. And we're just trying to play these songs as best as we possibly could play them.
And it works. And once again, there's a lot of examples of that. One other one that pops in my head is Queen with Adam Lambert. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, he's not Freddie. Well, no, he's not Freddie. And Freddie's not here anymore, but it's a pretty damn good representation of Freddie Mercury. And you go to the gig and you love the tunes and you love what's going on. So, and I said, we talked about this, you and Zach are the perfect guys for this. I mean, I'm sure other guys could have done it, but as soon as you mentioned that to me, like, dude, like even that, the lineage and the personal relationships, and then of course from a playing standpoint, it really is a perfect mix. Who originally asked you to do this?
Philip called me. I mean, we always talk, so it wasn't like I don't hear from Philip. Like, we would always talk. And then after I talked to him, Rex called me up and he's like, "Did you speak to Philip?" I'm like, yeah. And we were all happy about it, because we go way back. First time I met these guys was like 1985. Not with Philip, of course, but Philip came in later. But we've always been friends.
Before you continue, where did you meet them in '85? Tell us the story when you first met the guys.
Oh, Anthrax played a place in Houston called Cardi's. It was us and a band called Hellstar, and Pantera were the openers, and that's when we first met. I mean, they were a different band back then, but I'll never forget that night, because when we went on, there was like this huge pole in the club, and Daryl had climbed all the way up and was hanging off of it, and he was just headbanging all night, and it just made a mark, you know what I mean? And then we kind of always kept in contact, so that's how far we go back. This is a very emotional thing for all of us. And the first night, Sterling Whitfield, he came to the Mexico City show, and he brought me Daryl's wristband that he still had, that Daryl wore and never been washed. And he brought me a pair of Vinny's old gloves, still had blood on them. Every night since that, I put Vinny's glove in my pocket and I wear Dime's wristband. And I play every show with those, and it's just something that I don't know. I feel closer to them when I do it.
It's a connection for sure, for sure.
100%. And I was so like when he brought it, he's like, "I want you to have these." It was weird, man. It was like I'm not going to say I didn't get choked up about it, but because I did. I'm so grateful that he was there, and the whole thing was just awesome.
There's certified, and then there's BMW certified with a 360